My name is Nkosi. People just call me NK, and I'm the founder for Olive Green Finance, Olive Green Roots. So the main thing and the main reason why I started or initiated this event is because I think Africans, for the most part, are good craftsmen, right? Which means we are very good at creating the product. We are very good at understanding what our people need and making it. But the thing that I've noticed we struggle with a lot is the systems and getting the right people in the right places in order for us to push our craft to our people, right? So as an example, we are good at making hats, we're good at making clothing and all these other things, but unfortunately a lot of businesses die out in Africa, especially because we don't know how to then distribute it, we don't know how to market it. We're very good at one thing and we focus on that one thing, and then when everything comes in, we fail. So the main idea for this was to kind of tackle that by giving people a position where they can actually speak about their problems, speak about the businesses, speak about all the things that they're good at, and then hopefully there's someone else in the crowd who has faced the same problem, or someone in the crowd who's going to face the same problem, or someone in the crowd who has not yet face the problem, or whatever the case might be, right? And that person might either have solutions or might have questions. So, for example, in my instance, I've created an app, Finance Tracker, and I've gotten as far as I have with spending minimal amount of money, but I have a whole bunch of problems that I've encountered during that process, and I have a whole bunch of other milestones that I've reached with that process. So someone else might want to start a website, might want to do something else, might want a payment gateway. I've faced those problems, I resolved them, I have new problems that somebody else might have answers to. So that's kind of one of those things. And then another thing is we have a scarcity mindset, right? And a scarcity mindset in the form that we think that we have to hawk things, right? We come up with ideas and we think, oh no, I must keep quiet about this. I mustn't tell this person about it. I mustn't tell this person about it. Because I'm thinking, if I tell my fellow brother, if I tell this other person who's doing something that's kind of similar, they're going to steal all my customers. And my ideas. Okay, so this is very, because I kind of had the same anxiety when it came to building in public for Olive Green Roots. I was like, oh, like what if a software engineer catches this idea and then they're like, no, and then they do it. But then one of the interesting things that Alex Amosi and Vusi Temwai and all those other people that I follow, one of the things that they mention is one of the ways they can identify a beginner or a new entrepreneur is that they're very secretive with their information, right? Like, it's like, oh, if you want to have a conversation with me, sign an NDA. Like sign an NDA first, and then we can have a conversation because you might steal my secrets. And they pointed out that if, for example, the clothing brands, and this really touched me, it was if all the mini little clothing brands with all our different friends that we know about, if they all came together, created one company, right? It wouldn't even touch 1% of the target market, of the clothing market for that industry. And that kind of like woke something up in me. I was like, yeah, we're so busy competing within like less than 1% of a whole market segment. And we're hogging this information, we're hogging suppliers, we're hogging our processes. But then we're not even going to touch that 1%. It's crazy to me. So one of the suggestions that I have for this kind of thing, it's kind of like, well, why don't you, instead of hogging that information, why don't you create a partnership with someone who's doing a similar thing to you, right? And then let's say for the first 2-3 years, you work on this craft with someone who's like-minded, with a very strong work ethic, create this product, create this brand, and then at the later stage, when you guys actually have a name for yourselves, to what level and degree, you can separate. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be bound for life with someone. But I think if the 1% were together as a 1% of South Africa's market is huge. Right? So if 1% join together, go to 5%, go to 10%, and then decided, let's split up, let's do these different things that we want to do. Like maybe you want to do like formal apparel, and maybe you want to do like streetwear, street fashion. At that point, you have enough of a brand identity and brand what do you call this value that you can target different people and you'll be fine on your own, right? So that's just one of the things that I had in mind. So during the process of this thing, I didn't want it to be motivational because I think if you guys are here, you're already sufficiently motivated, right? So you don't need someone else to tell you like wake up in the morning and then chase after your dreams. Like that's fine. Like there's YouTube tutorials for that. But the main focus for this one, I'll reiterate it, is one, you're going to mention things that you've struggled with because somebody else might have struggled with it and you might have a solution for it if you're no longer struggling with it. You're going to mention things that you're struggling with because somebody might have struggled with that and has a solution for you, right? That might help. Or three, you might point out a field or a section in your work that's missing that somebody else has an answer to. Right, so it's like, hey, look, I'm doing this thing, I'm struggling with the marketing, I'm struggling with this. Someone else might be doing and focusing on something that's marketing, and they might be like, hey, look, let's maybe partner for the next 3 months. Let's maybe partner for the next whatever. My portfolio is going to go up, and then you're going to get the marketing, and then, you know what I mean, we can do things in tandem. And the nice thing about this is we have a lot of theoretical knowledge sometimes. Like you might have branding theoretical knowledge, right? And you can create this portfolio. But if the most credible thing you can do for yourself is work with other people, and then when you put it on your portfolio, you can say, I worked with this person, this was the problem we're trying to solve, this is how we tackled it, this is how we solved it, this is where the person is now, whether they succeeded or not, but we did manage to solve the problem, these were the results, and these are the things I learned from it. If somebody is looking at your portfolio and sees your real world experience, and you know how to tackle certain things in different dynamic situations, you are significantly more credible than someone who has all the theoretical knowledge but doesn't have the field work. So that's just about it for the intro. Thank you guys for being patient with us. This is extremely late. It wasn't even supposed to be a live to begin with, but I figured with the amount of people that are here and people that couldn't make it, this is probably the best alternative to that. So everybody will have an opportunity if they have a product. If they have a product that they're working on, a service that they're working on, a business that they're working on, or something that they're thinking about starting, it's okay to have an idea, to be imaginative and all those things. I'm not going to restrict it to people who have something physical that they can show for it. But if you do have an idea in mind and you think about all the different ways it works, this is also the forum to do that. You can mention it. You can be, hey, look, I want to post this thing. I want to try and do this thing, but I'm scared because of this, or I haven't done it because of this. And then someone can have some valuable information and insight for you for that, or some advice even. It's not for motivation, but if you have a motivational line, you can say it. We'll accept it. We'll accept it. You know, we won't chase you off the stage. But ideally, don't come to the stage and only just try and motivate people, because we want solutions and we need purpose and all those things. Yeah, so we have someone who's going to start, and I threw him in the deep end, unfortunately. And I'm just going to set that up for him.
Okay, cool. Hello everyone, I am TK. I'm just a 26-year-old who's trying to make it out, and yeah, so basically today I'll be presenting on the business that I'm kind of busy with at the moment. It's mainly, what I'm doing currently is YouTube. So what I'm focusing mainly is YouTube Shorts. So I have a channel which is called Tech Footy Shorts, which is mainly about football edits and stuff like that. So yeah, my niche is mainly football, and yeah, they just check out the presentation that I prepared. So this is basically like the ups and downs and the like my struggles and all that. So yeah, basically, I mean, creator is basically me. You already know who I am, and the niche is football. Location is Cape Town, which is very challenging because it's like I'm competing with other creators from other countries and all that, especially like American, the UK and stuff. So sometimes posting from this side is kind of a challenge because, you know, load shedding and all that stuff. So most of the time I have to like try and find ways to maneuver around that. So the journey, when I think I started the channel early last year. Started the channel early last year, and I was like, you know what, let me start something since I wasn't working, couldn't find any work. So started the channel, and you know, at the beginning it was okay. You know, got like a few subscribers here and there, and then I'm not sure. I think around June, July, I got stuck around 400 subscribers, 500 subscribers, and then I think I just gave up because now I saw no movement, and it's like I didn't even know what to do after that. Because then I think mostly like doubt started creeping in, because now you don't even know if okay cool, if the thing that I'm doing is it the right thing, because I'm looking at other big channels. I'm like, okay cool, they're posting the same thing that I'm posting, they're bigger. Is it because they started earlier than me, or is it because like maybe I started a bit late? Is the is the niche way too saturated? So now it's one of those things where you just like start doubting. Maybe should I change the niche that I'm doing? Should I, you know, do something else? So it's one of those things where it's just like I think me taking a step back and just taking a break, it really helped with you know thinking about everything and just like, you know, let me just analyze and let me just shift the type of niche that I'm doing. Because I started off doing football and I'm still doing football, but in football there's a lot of different, it's almost like sub niches in football. So I started focusing on a different sub niche, which I kind of found success in. So yeah, I think this is basically almost basically explain this as well. So and then yeah, so this is the most important thing, you know, come back, me coming back and being consistent. Because before like when I started off, when I got stuck and stuff, I wasn't as consistent as I am today. You know, posting maybe two shorts here and there, but I wasn't consistent. I had no timetable. I know like basically what if you're doing YouTube, you should train YouTube to sounds like to learn your patterns, your scheduling patterns, when to post and whatever. You can pick a certain time. Sometimes YouTube has specific times, especially on shorts, has specific times when for certain niches when certain like time periods get the most views and certain time periods get less. Like for example, from Wednesday moving forward, yes, like on football, you get a lot of views because that's when it's getting near to the weekend and most matches are played in the weekends. Then from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you don't get as much views. So that's why being disciplined and knowing your timetable and knowing your niche really helps as well. So me posting, like I think I started with 4 shorts almost every day. So I believe if you have like a job, it might be hard because posting 4 shorts every single day, it is not easy because you have to do the research and you have to make sure that whatever video that you posting, you believe that it might work, because not every video is relevant to right now. Because I can't be posting about, let's say, Pele or about certain matches which happened like 30 or 40 years ago. If it was an iconic match, it makes sense. But if it was just like any random match, it don't work. So you need to understand the niche, you need to be consistent. Consistency is like the main thing of being consistent. So yeah. So this is basically the stats that I have currently. I'm sitting on 4.1 million views in about 28 days. So subscribers, basically I grew. I think I was stuck on 400 for a while, and then I started posting again on November. Crazy part is that from November to December, I just gained 500, 600 more subscribers. And then by January, I had like 1,000 subscribers. Now, currently, I have about 9,600 and, 684 subscribers, which is ironic because I was stuck on 400. Now I'm 400 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. So which is crazy. So yeah, it's one of those things that just like staying consistent. So yeah, I'm actually proud of myself because now it shows that the work is paying off and all that. So yeah. Yeah, basically, this is me basically saying that I'm almost there getting paid because right now I applied for this first stage of monetization. So I'm just waiting for YouTube to approve the channel for the first stage, where that's like super thanks, stickers, memberships, and creating a community and all that. And then for the next second tier of monetization, that's when like 10 million views and everything like that. So if you reach it, you're directly paid by YouTube, AdSense and all those things. So yeah, yeah, things that I've learned, pick a niche that you actually like, because that's important. Because doing it every day, it does get tiring. It does get mentally taxing and stuff. So picking a niche that you understand, that you're passionate about, it makes it easier to do it every day. Because if I wasn't a football fan, I don't think I'll be doing, like posting it. So maybe if I picked basketball, I'm not really a basketball fan. So now I have to research about certain players. I have to know about certain things which I'm not really interested in. So it might be a challenge if you pick a niche that you're not into. So pick a niche that you're into. Second is consistency. You know, sometimes don't wait for to perfect something. Just post. Because one of the most messed up, not messed up, but surprising thing that happened was that I was working on 4 shots, right? So now the first 3 I actually spent a lot of time on, right? Editing, doing research, doing that. And I was like, okay, cool. So now I think I had somewhere to go. And the fourth one, I was like, let me just post it just for the sake of it. Posted it, and I just left. I think I was coming to see you guys. And that fourth one, which actually blew up, because that first short, which got like over 100,000 views, and I was surprised because I thought like it's not that good, but sometimes just like keep posting, you never know what when it's like it's your big break and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, the algorithm, as you stay consistent, the algorithm will reward you at some point. Just keep posting. Because another thing that I realized with the algorithm, especially if you're doing shorts, there's certain caps that you get, stuck by. Maybe if you post for the first time, your short might get stuck at 1,000 views. Once you post a little bit more, you might get stuck at 10,000. Post a little bit more and get stuck on 30,000. Because I was reading the data and everything. Because I would see my like certain shorts that I did, that they are like the stats shows that this video is supposed to get like 1 million views or whatever, but it's stuck on 30,000 because YouTube is still like learning your channel, still trying to understand what your channel is about. So that's why you must just keep posting, don't give up. Because after a while, I was like, I think I was stuck on 30,000 views for a long time, and then now it's I get maybe 60,000, 80,000, 100,000 shorts on a regular. So it's about that. Just staying consistent and just keep posting. I'm sure you're gonna make it. And yeah, number 4, don't watch the subscriber count. I think that's one of those things that really destroyed me at first, because I'm posting, putting in, like, I'm working hard on my videos, but I was stuck on 400. So, and I was like, I couldn't understand, like, what am I doing wrong? Because maybe I'll see other channels which started like maybe like a month later, they're already on 19,000 subscribers just from one video. So sometimes it's all about luck. Sometimes it's knowing the formula. Since I have no background in YouTube, so it's just like I have to learn everything from scratch. I'm trying to understand the algorithm and trying to understand, okay, what do I need to do to get more followers and all that. So after a while, you just like don't look at the stats. Just look at the type of videos that you're posting. If you feel like, okay, cool, I can watch it and someone else can watch it, it's good enough. Just keep posting, keep posting. I'm sure you will find your like subscribers. You will get the numbers that you want in true time. And your lowest point is in the end. So yeah, so just don't give up. Don't allow yourself to be like, okay, cool, this is not for me. If you feel like, okay, you know what, I can't do it anymore, it's fine. Take a step back, take a breather, and just take a break. If it means taking a break for 2 days, for 2 weeks, a month, but just take a break and make sure that, okay, cool, when I come back, I'm coming back with a different perspective, with a new fresh look on things, and yeah, I'm sure that's gonna help as well. So, what's next for the channel? For me, I want to build shift from shorts actually, because I feel like I want to build something that's community based. You see, so I want to keep it within the football niche, but I want to speak about football, make documentaries. Like right now, I want to put myself into the videos. I want to talk about football, and I want to make sure that I build a community where people can see me, and then they can like, it's almost like engage in my personality and watch the videos because of me, not because of the football content. So I want to build something bigger where I can say, I built that. That's like it's a community, so that if I have something else that I want to do on the side, then it's yes. So creating like a brand type of thing. Because there's many things that I want to do, but at the moment I just want to focus on this. I want to conquer this at first, So slowly building a football community, slowly building like my subscribers, maybe to 200K. I don't know when I'll reach it, but yeah. Because funny thing, I had set myself the goal of getting like maybe 10,000 subscribers, maybe like at the end of the year. Right, that was the mission. So now it looks like maybe I might reach 10,000 subscribers in a couple of days. So it's very weird how this YouTube works. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you guys have like any questions and all that. What you guys would like to know, and yeah, that's good.
Well, for me, I think you covered a lot of the questions that I would have, especially for someone who's also into, especially for some. Okay, let me just start over. I think you've covered a lot of the questions that I possibly would have had, especially for someone who's also trying to get into like content creation. You've kind of like also showed me the details behind of like finding your niche, knowing what specifically you are making to build a community, and just trying to also like strive through the hard times that you have. And yeah, I think you've answered a lot of my questions that I've also had to myself also, in terms of like, okay, how am I going to start with like the type of goals to set for myself. And like you said, you thought of being in front of the camera once you reach a specific target, like that goes for the goals that you set for yourself. And yeah, and the monetization also, I am trying to tap into that and see what's happening. So I think for the most part for me is you've answered the small parts of like content creation that I had, So yeah, okay. Shout out to you. Okay. Thanks. That's dope. I mean, I have a question as someone who recently started a shorts channel.
Yeah.
Well, not a shorts channel, but I only have time to work and edit shorts at the moment. I would like to do longer videos. That's kind of my preference when it comes to just communicating with my community.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't have time for that. And shorts are the quickest thing. I can do a 1 minute video, 1 minute 30-second video, real quick, edited quickly on an evening night after work, and get it done. But I am currently kind of struggling with getting views for my shorts. I'm currently struggling with getting the subscribers as well, converting my views over to subscribers on that side. So like, do you have anything that you might have done earlier on, or something that you might have done differently earlier on to maybe have a better conversion from views to subscribers?
Something that I would have done earlier on.
Like now that you know what you know, is there anything you'd do differently to try and convert better, to get more subscribers, get more views?
But me that I've learned, right, in terms of getting more views, right, there's certain tricks that you can do, right? I think getting more views can maybe add trending sounds, like on TikTok, add trending sounds, which will somewhat help the algorithm to push your videos to some extent. And then in terms of like hashtag, just understanding your niche as well. That's like one of those things where, okay, cool. I think one of the things, to answer your question, sir, one of the things that I would have done better is just like mainly do a lot of research on the type of niche that I'm doing, right? Look at other people, other channels, what they do, and just learn from them. It doesn't. I know it's kind of bad to say, but it's not wrong for you to copy them at some sense. Yeah. Copy them to a point where you find it, like you find when to a point where you can tell, okay, cool, this is my identity. Now you found the type of niche that you want to do, right? Because you're doing the same style of video, but now you have your own way of doing it because of your personality and whatever. So just like look at other channels and look at what they're doing, the type of hashtags they're doing, and trending shorts, trending videos, what type of topics were they talking about? Are they talking about the same things? Is it just random stuff, or is it just like kind of linked?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like recently, one of the shorts that I posted about football stuff. It's the title was what, footballers with their mothers. So basically, I'm just posting different clips of footballers with their mothers. Right? So I'm like, you know what? Let me post footballers with their fathers, and blew up. So it's kind of related, and both of those shorts has like 100,000 views and all that. So it's one of those things where just like look at the small details, the title. If they wrote the caption like in a certain way, was it all caps? Was it all that or whatever? I know it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it kind of pays off as well. So with me as well, with the whole long form video, I think it's one of those things where I'm just like slowly trying to get into it, and it's just I'm like trying to teach myself from the very beginning on how to start getting more views on the long form type of side. Because it's kind of hard for a channel to take like subscribers from YouTube Shorts to the long form, because they're just YouTube Shorts guys. So they're only used to certain like their videos being 30 seconds or a minute long. So now if you're trying to push them into long form videos, sometimes they don't really watch the video that long. So I don't know. I think for me personally, if I would start a channel right now, like if I want to focus on shorts only, I would focus on shorts only. If I want to do long form, just focus on long form. Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, okay, so you said you're going to branch out into long form, right?
Yeah.
Now, are you going to keep it on the same channel or create a different...
Yeah, that's actually something that I was actually thinking of. It was something that I was actually struggling with, if I'm going to keep it on the same channel or not. Because I do have like a couple of other channels where in the future I would like to focus on. So some other channels has like 100 subscribers or 500 subscribers. I'm not really focused on those channels. So the main channel, I would like to convert it into a long.
This tag Tech footy shorts.
Yes, I would just like to rebrand it into like
Tech food.
yeah, tech footy and
Yeah.
just get rid of the shorts because the shorts are taking a lot of time, right? Posting and everything. But at the same time, I'm just like I want to build something more, and I don't think at the moment like I can get to a point where I'm big enough to build a community with my shorts. But at the same time, I just want to put myself more on the videos. You see?
Yeah.
So even if let's say I'm able to post like long form videos, I can always like take clips from the long form videos and just put them into
Shorts.
into shorts.
And I feel
Make
like
them in shorts.
creating a new channel might be like mentally not would it be mentally like draining or something like that because now you're starting from over. You have that idea you're starting from over and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, because
It's long form as well, but maybe it's more difficult to start from the bottom and really long videos.
because YouTube has a thing called the trust score. So if you're starting a new channel, you have to make sure that you're using a Gmail which is old. Not something that you just started like maybe 2 days ago. So if you starting a new YouTube channel and you're using a new Gmail, okay, like create a channel but don't post anything, and then watch other videos maybe for like 2 or 3 weeks or like a month,
Yeah.
doing like doing like a normal YouTube stuff, so that you're building a trust score. Because YouTube won't think it's like you're a bot,
Yeah.
like you're fake or anything like that. So that's why when like even if you make like the best video like ever and you just post it and you created the channel today, you will get zero views. You see, so it's rare for you to get. Easy. You will get zero views. I think it's one of those things when we started Chance Unscripted and we started posting, we couldn't understand why we're getting zero views, but on Instagram we're actually getting like more views. So it's one of those things where don't just post, just wait a little bit first. It's almost like you're cooking your YouTube channel. Just trying to make sure that YouTube knows that you're a human being. So yeah. So one of those things.
That's pretty good, actually. Also, another question is that when it comes to these things, I feel like a good default thing that a lot of people think about is like social media, that goes there, drive your leads and everything. But it's obviously done your way with like organic growth purely on the platform. And was that like the reason behind it, was that like more of like focusing your resources to what you think will convert more, or what made you stay away from the social media route so far at least?
For me personally, it was more of time, energy, because for me, it's like, personally, I can't focus on a lot of things. See, because I tried doing YouTube and TikTok at the same time, and I realized that, I can't. So I just want to focus on one thing, and first, let's say, conquer one thing. And then it's easier once you have this empire where you can send people to other revenues. You see, so it's just like building something first. Once you know that the foundation is quite good, and then you can send it to other.
Like prioritizing your resources.
Yeah.
Actually, just to piggyback on that, because at the moment I'm doing YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I was wondering, as you mentioned now, why? Because I do understand like the resources. It is a lot, but also simultaneously, I think because my current workflow is I start with TikTok because it creates my captions, and it's really good at creating the captions. And it also gives me a copy of the video after I upload it. So it gives me that, and then I take that video, and then I move it over to YouTube. And then once it's on YouTube, I go on Gemini, I get it to give me like a description similar to the one that I did on TikTok. So I don't need to keep prompting it. I just say, here's the link to my video on YouTube. Do the same thing you normally do based on what I've asked you to do before. It gives me the stuff, I copy that, I paste it on YouTube. And then once I have that, it does it for YouTube and Instagram, the caption. Gives me the caption for YouTube and things. So I copy that, and the description. So I copy that description, put it onto Instagram, and I post the video there. So I'm only ever really focusing on TikTok, for the video itself. But once the video is done, the rest of the process is just like I take it, put it in there, upload, take it, put it in there, upload. It does take a little bit of time, but I would imagine it would be significantly less. So like, have you tried that? Or do you still feel like it would still take, because it does take time, right? Is there any reason why you wouldn't? Yeah.
I mean, it does take time, right? I've tried that before. I'm posting on TikTok and posting on other channels as well. Because I was posting on Tech Footy Shorts and the other one where I'm posting mesh highlights. I was doing that as well. But at the same time, it's like burnout, part to me. So burnout is a thing that I'm trying to avoid, you see. So because after a while, it just kind of gets almost like redundant, where okay, cool, today is going to be like this. I know that I'm doing this every single day, right? So now me posting on these platforms, I just got tired and I just got demotivated because now I'm looking at the numbers in all 3 platforms and I'm just like not seeing any growth.
Yeah.
So now instead of being disappointed from one channel, I'm actually disappointed from like an overall thing. So it's one of those things where I've looked at other channels where some big channels they only post like once a day, right? One short a day, or maybe like 1 in 3 days, right? But the numbers stay consistent. Let's say I post one short and I get like 1 million views every single day. Right? But now I'm posting like 4 shorts every single day, and just like the workload is way too much.
It's building up. Yeah.
So that's why, like me posting 4 shorts every day, it is kind of tough. But once I get to that point where I know, okay, cool, I have enough like of a fan base for me to post 1 short, and I still have the same numbers as me posting 4. So now if I'm posting 1, but the numbers are still similar to me posting 4, it allows me to focus on other channels then. That's why I'm just like, first I'm trying to build something where it's like, sustainable. Even if I take a 2-day break, it's still, I'm getting the same results. I can focus on my other channels or other like businesses or other ideas that I have. So that's my logic for it, Like my thing that works for me doesn't mean it would work for you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like that.
Okay. I think the first question that I had, it's kind of answered halfway. The first question that I had was why YouTube specifically? Because obviously you spoke of TikTok, Instagram, and you've tried other channels. So what made you actually choose to focus on YouTube?
Okay. I think mainly because I was familiar with the platform, because we started off Chance Unscripted. So I knew like my way around. And I'm literally on YouTube every single day. Before I started like doing this whole YouTube thing, I was on YouTube watching, YouTube videos. Like Instagram and on all those platforms, Facebook, even though it pays well, I hear, I'm never on Facebook. I don't even know how to use Facebook. So I basically picked a platform where I understood. I knew that, okay, cool, it's somewhat easy to learn because I had prior experience on YouTube. So that's why I used YouTube. And it's one of those things where I think YouTube is the OG of, social media. So in terms of building something, a community, I think it's easy on YouTube because out of all platforms, I think YouTube pays the highest. I think secondly it's Twitch. YouTube. Yeah, but that's for streaming. Yeah, because we do stream on YouTube, but in terms of getting paid on streaming, like Twitch and Kick and all those, they pay higher. YouTube in terms of like videos and content, it pays higher. Then I think Facebook is second, and then was it TikTok is third, I think, and Instagram doesn't pay at all. So that's sad, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting because I've also, I don't do it for the sake of like I want to focus on it. I do it as a hobby kind of thing. I've done comedy. I've done motivational speaking. I've done cakes. I've done. There's a lot I've done. But what I would like to ask as well, in terms of, because we spoke of this niche, is it niche or niche? Niche, okay. So in terms of niche, I think I'm picking up that you said the algorithm has to like learn your channel, like what you're all about.
Yeah.
So am I right in saying that if you are all over the place, it might take time for you to actually find success, like seeing success on your channel, because the algorithm is not really, it's confused in a way, right?
It's very it's basically like, can I say like a human being? Basically, because if I know, okay, cool, this guy is good at this, right? I'm coming to you to talk about a certain topic that I know you're good at. Next thing you're telling me about something
else
that I didn't come for. So it's usually basically like that. So you have to make sure when you're starting up, you just pick a niche that you want and make sure that you stay with it. Stick to that. So that YouTube can promote your niche to people that are into those type of things. You see. So if you're all over the place, you can grow, but it will take time. It will take time.
Yeah, I've really noticed that, because like I'm saying, I've done a lot of things. If you go to my TikTok account, you see like a whole lot of different things. And as much as I get views on them, I still feel like some of them I don't get the views that I'm supposed to get. So I guess that's because TikTok. I've heard people on TikTok talk about like being in jail, like they jail you and put you on a certain like on a certain number of views. And so whenever you post, you don't pass that. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, thank you for that. I think I got quite some insight, and that's gonna help me also going forward. Thank you.
Wait, are we done?
If it was a bit quick one, is that at the beginning, I remember MK was talking about certain like how big the market is and everything, and working with certain collaborators and stuff like that. And like, is there something that's in your horizons that you thought about potentially collaborating to get those views and subscribers up for people who are already in the space as well, for the people that in your niche?
I think that was like the main reason why I wanted to switch to long form videos, where I can show my face and show my personality, where I can. It allows for like certain brands to approach you, because now they know, okay, cool, there's a face behind this channel. There's this person, this guy is maybe I have like a big beard or something. Certain like brands and that type of thing will start approaching me. Maybe let's say I have like a big collection of soccer jerseys in the background. Then certain companies will be like, this guy loves jerseys, let's just send them a jersey, promotes, whatever. So it's one of those things where just like it helps, putting your face in your channel, just branding your whole channel helps, because now you can get into like different niches if you want to. Because for me personally, I want to also get into cooking. I love cooking. I want to learn more about cooking. So later on, let's say I have a big following on my football channel, then just easily tell them, okay, guys, I'm planning to open like a cooking channel, right? If you guys are interested, just follow my channel. And then, especially right now, it's kind of easy to grow your channel in terms of subscribers, because you can do like collabs now on YouTube. Right? So that's what I've done with some of my channels, where I've posted, like I haven't posted any videos, but they already have like 200 subscribers, because I just collabed in those things.
I was curious about that.
Yeah, so you can easily, especially right now, YouTube has allowed you to like collab with other channels easily. right? So maybe we can just collab as friends, or it can be like a business thing where you guys pay or something. I don't know, but just like branding and just putting a face into it just helps as well. That's what I believe. But yeah.
For TK, yeah, nice. My name is Nkosi. I am the founder for Olive Green Roots, which is a finance tracking app. And its main focus is to help South Africans manage their daily expenses and incomes better so that they have more savings and have an above all better experience when it comes to their money, right? Because I believe that a lot of times I have watched a lot of content about finances when I was trying to get my finances in order. And one of the things that I learned about myself, and hopefully other people can relate and maybe they can apply this to themselves, is that one of the reasons why we are bad with money is because we tend to try not to look at it as often, right? So we know that money comes in, we know that money goes out, but we are not trying to understand the details. We understand the big debit orders because they kind of force us to understand them. But everything else is just kind of like my money came in and my money is gone. You know, like it's not the end of the month. I haven't been paid yet and I don't have a cent or whatever. And we have an average understanding that, oh, things have gotten more expensive and it's a lot more difficult to do certain things compared to the past. But when it comes to the changes and the things that we can actually do with our finances and how we can manage our money, we're not really good at it. And that all stems again from the fact that we are not looking at it, so we don't understand it, which creates this perpetual cycle, right? Because I'm not looking at my money because I'm bad at managing my money. So I'm not going to look at it because I'm bad at managing it. And then I'm bad at managing it because I'm not looking at it. And then you just keep going into that circle, right? So that's just one of those things. So that's why I created the app, and that's what the app is for. It has a couple other cool features that helps users track the money when it comes to the money they borrow, or the debit orders that they have. And I'm working on a robust notification system to help users get insight as well. Not just, oh, okay, cool, this is my money, this is how much money I have, whatever. But maybe it can pick up patterns for you and be like, hey, look, 5 months in a row, 10 days before this debit order went off, you've had barely enough for the debit order, or you barely had enough money for your rent by this date, and that has led to you missing 3 out of those 5, out of the case might be, right? So I wanted to help. I wanted to be a coach as much as possible to South Africans, but more than anything else, I just want us South Africans and other people, but mainly South Africans because that's the target market I understand, to start looking at the money a bit more often, and hopefully, I'm hoping it will lead to a better way of managing it. So that's what the app does. And then in terms of my journey with it, it's been tough. It's been tough. It's been hard because I think it's one of those situations where in business, whenever you're starting something, you are under the impression that you have discovered a gap in the market, and you're like, yeah, I've discovered something no one else has seen yet, and I have the solution to this thing. So let me do it. Let me create the solution. Let me help these people. Like for me, I was like, yeah, let me create this solution where people can manage the money and like they won't have to worry about it anymore and all those things. And then once you start, you kind of start to understand how much you've underestimated the amount of work you need to put in and the amount of research you still need to do, and you underestimate how little you understand of the problem that you think you're solving. So one of the things I've heard is you identify a gap in the market, but you need to ask yourself if there's a market in the gap, right? And to kind of explain that, it's you can, like for me, identify that, oh, there's this gap in the market, right? Like there's people that are not managing their finances, and there's no app that actually helps them do that, where they actually can learn and are forced to interact with it. You know, like you're forced to enter, this is the amount I spent on this thing and this is the description for it, right? There's no app that does that. And I was like, well, I think I could solve this problem. So there's a gap in the market, and I think I have the solution to it. But the other question you need to ask yourself is there a market in the gap? So there's the gap, you've identified it, but then are people actually willing to pay for that product, right? Are people actually willing to spend time interacting with this thing, right? Even if it's not money, like if you're offering something for free, if you're offering something for free that no one cares about, but it is a problem that they have, and you solve the problem. Like, for example, you can identify that, oh, I've realized that most of the time when you go to the beach, people have sandals. Let me get them lighter sneakers that they can wear at the beach. And it's like, okay, you've identified a gap in the market, but are there any people that are really willing to buy sneakers for the beach for some? Like, is that something that people really would be willing to spend money on? Do they even understand this thing that you're talking about, right? And I think that's the problem. You fall into that trap where, like, you now have this product which solves this gap in the market, but you don't have a market for the gap. So now you're trying to create the market for the gap, and that's a downhill spiral. So I think that's just one of the things I've noticed is like I'm trying to be cognizant of that. I know there's a gap in the market. I know that I need to help South Africans manage their money better, because if you manage your money better, I think you can spend more money on yourself, and you can spend more money on yourself. You can spend more money on the things that you needed to. You can finally beat the debt record that you have. You can finally do all these things. And tackling that has been very eye-opening, because part of the process of me tackling that problem has been speaking to people. So I set a challenge for myself. I said I'm going to speak to 3 strangers every day, and I'm going to try and convince them to at least have a look at the socials, have a look at the website, or have a look at the app itself. And what that forced me to do is I'm now speaking to people. I'm like, hey, look, are you good with your money? I'm like, no, I'm not good with my money. I'm like, I know, same here. But like, why do you think you're not good at your money? And then they tell me the reason. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. I just thought, okay, cool. But hey, look, here's my app. I think it solves your problem. And then every once in a while, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna have a look at this app, and I think it's gonna help me. No one looks at it. Or or someone is like, oh flip, actually, like this is like I'm getting paid on this date. Actually, yeah, let me have a look at that. And then every once in a while, somebody is like, yeah, but what if I send this thing to someone who doesn't have the app and I want to track it, and like they don't have the app, so how you managing that? And I was like, if they don't have the app, tell them to download the app. And they're like, no, but like that might not work. And I was like, yeah, I know that might not actually work if they don't have the. So now, like, I can understand that. For example, if there's a feature in my app, an IOU feature, which helps people track the money that they borrow or the money that they borrowed. And one of the things it can do is it allows you to verify a contact. So if there's 2 users, both of which have the app, both of which have the verified email, if you connect those 2 emails, this person can send this person an IOU and say, hey, look, you owe me this amount of money for this thing. And this person can accept it or reject it and put a reason in. And then this person will receive a notification say, this person accepted it or this person declined because of this reason, which is great. But one of the customers was like, yeah, this is nice, but what if I want to send it to my mom? And I was like, I mean, your mom, tell her to download that. But I have to think about it. I'm like, well, first of all, it's going to be a hurdle for the mom to download the app. Secondly, after she downloads it, she's going to have to try and learn how to navigate this whole thing. And then after she learns how to navigate this whole thing, she now needs to understand like the nuances of like, oh, rejecting, accepting, and like, I know how it works, but like, Mtanami, this, like at the end of the day, the mother's going to end up asking the child who sent the IOU to manage the IOU that she sent. And I was like, okay, fair. So maybe I need to find a way, like maybe to send a WhatsApp, WhatsApp notification, or like an SMS, or maybe for the broader market, maybe an email even. Like these are things that you're kind of forced to think about. But now, I think it moves me on to my next gripe, or the next big challenge that I faced, and it was target market, right? It was kind of understanding my target market and market segmentation, which is similar to niche, right? Your niche is your target market. It's the people that are going to view your thing, that are going to interact with it, that are going to be your best customers, let's say, right? In your case, your best viewers or best subscribers, right? In my instance, it's the people that are going to be the best users, right? And I have to understand these people because that determines most of my operational decisions. So, for example, with a social media account, what might happen is TK is creating a football short, right? And if TK doesn't understand his niche market very well, he might focus on, I don't know, like the amount of people that were at the stadium. Or maybe he might focus on the new uniform for a certain sports team or whatever the case might be, right? And then his target market doesn't care about any of that. All they want to know about is who is playing this match, how many goals did they score, how many goals did they miss, all those kind of things. So if he creates that short and publishes it, he's going to get maybe 50,000 views. But the potential for it was 100,000 views. So now he's missed that 50,000 views, which means it's going to take longer for him to get monetized, for him to get the money that he wants. And then in a business, it's if I'm selling again sneakers, let's say, right? If I'm selling sneakers, and then while I'm trying to do the marketing, like I'm doing an advertisement, right? People who do online advertisement will notice this, but if I'm selling sneakers and I want to do an advertisement, you have to choose the people that are going to see the advertisement because it's more expensive the more people see it. So you have to be smart about it. You have to say, okay, I want people who are between this age and this age. Because people between the ages of, let's say, 45 and 60 probably don't really care too much about sneakers like that. You know what I mean? So maybe you want to remove those people, right? So it moves your target audience from 50 million to, let's say, 25 million, right? Rough estimates. So now you have you've removed 25 million of people that were your target market. So you've removed them from target market. So now you have 25 million people. And from these 25 million people, it's going to be people between the ages of 18 and let's say 45. That's your target market, right? And then in that target market, you also need to be smart about it. You have to be like, well, how many of these people stay within South Africa, right? So maybe 20 million of them stay within South Africa. So you don't need to market to the other 5 million because they're not even in South Africa. Why would you do that, right? Like you can't get the sneaker to them unless if you have that robust operations. But for now, let's assume you don't. So you don't have to worry about the people outside of South Africa. So you have to worry about 20 million people. So you say, okay, specifically people in South Africa, right? And then now you have to think about it like, okay, wait, if I'm delivering a sneaker to someone next door, I'm going to charge them what? $0. Like I'm not going to charge them anything for delivery. It's free delivery. But if I'm delivering the sneaker to someone in KZN and I'm in Cape Town, there's going to be a cost there, right? So now I'm going to say, okay, look, for my advertisement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that for the people in KZN, so let's say it's 5 million people, for those people in KZN, when they make the order, what they're going to see is going to be this thing that says 20 rands for delivery or 50 rands for delivery, right? And then for the people in Cape Town, I need to make sure that they don't see 50 rand for delivery because it's free. Because if I'm in Cape Town and I see this person selling the thing and it says 50 rand for delivery, I'll be like, oh, like only if it was free, I'm not going to buy it, whatever, right? But then if I'm in KZN as well simultaneously and I see an advertisement and it says free delivery and I order this thing and then they charge me 50 rand delivery, I'm like, no, like why you scamming me now? And now you have a whole problem. So market segmentation and target market, like choosing your target market is very important because now I also understand that my app isn't for the mother of the daughter. You know what I mean? Like it's not for the mother that's going to be confused and be like, oh, how do I download this app? And then how do I manage this? That's not my target market. So now instead of me saying I need to create additional features to make sure that these older people can work on my app, I can say, oh, but like I'm not looking at these people because most likely they're not even going to bother trying to download this thing. They're not gonna, so I don't have to worry about them. So what I've done now is I've kind of created a a um a unique or a specific customer. I forgot the term for this one, but it's a customer that I know is my target customer, right? It's a persona, yes, target market or customer persona or user persona. So I know what my ideal user looks like, and whenever I'm tailoring ads, whenever I'm tailoring my design for the app, the user interface, the user experience, I look at that and I say, okay, cool. This is what my target user is. This is how they would interact with the app. If my target customer would be confused about something, I'm not going to do it. If my target customer is going to understand, I don't care if the rest of the world is not going to understand, because I'm not worried about the rest of the world. I can't market for the rest of the world, right? You can't please everyone. So as long as my target customer is going to understand what my app does, I don't have to worry about all these other people, right? And that's the power of segmentation, because it allows you to focus on the right thing. Because prior to this, I was working on my app and I'll be like, oh, but like, what if, this person, okay, cool, but like this person, what if they don't have a phone? Like, what if they're selling? Okay, cool. They're like, what am I going to do? Like, now I'm spending resources and time trying to solve a problem for a person who's not my customer. Waste of time, right? So that has really helped. I don't really have to worry about certain things anymore. I mean, it would be nice if I have the WhatsApp feature, the SMS feature, the Gmail feature, which is going to cost me money, right? Because now I have to go to Gmail and I have to ask them like, hey, look, I want to use your platform like this to send these people this thing, and they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead, use our platform, use it. It's just gonna be like 1 rand per email, and now I'm like, no, I don't have the money, right? WhatsApp is even worse. For that, it's a great feature that most South Africans use the app, but what it's going to cost me, this is the interesting part, what it's going to cost me to get WhatsApp usability for the people in South Africa who mostly use WhatsApp is going to increase the cost of my app per month, which is going to remove those people simultaneously. So I'm spending money making a feature usable, but in my spending money, I need to increase the cost of my app so that I'm able to afford this feature on the app. But now the people that are going to use the app can't afford it because it's counterproductive, right? So another thing that's very important about target marketing, like you need to understand them. So now I understand what is my target market willing to spend on the app. At the moment, it's estimated between, let's say, 49 rands, like 20 rands and 49 rands. People are still willing to be like, okay, fine, I will. Past that point, people start making comparisons. It's like, oh, this is the same amount I'm paying for Spotify, though. And I understand what Spotify does for me. I'm not sure if this app is even going to help me. And past that point, it's like, this is almost the same amount as Netflix. And then lower at around 29, I can easily make a comparison. It's like, oh, it's cheaper than a cider, or it's cheaper than a loaf of bread, or you know what I mean? And you only need to make that payment once. It was all right there.
Chris Brown wants to co-host.
Apparently, Chris Brown wants to co-host. Like if he commented, maybe we might. I said, well, we know it's not Chris Brown. Okay. But yeah, so like there are multiple things that you need to understand when you first get into your business. And again, like I said, there's multiple things that I've encountered. But with that being said, I think one of the most important things for startup entrepreneurs and startup builders, is in my niche, is before I started, I was thinking about I didn't understand this concept, but I was like, what is the product that I can make, right? And I can get to customers and make them pay for it. Like I want to perfect this product to such a point that it's a no-brainer. When I give it to you, you're like, yeah, I'm going to pay you for this, right? And that's kind of like the perfectionist in me, because I want to make sure that it's polished, it's whatever, right? But then one of the things you learn in entrepreneurship is very quickly you need to learn what your MVP is, right? Which is your minimal viable product, right? You need to make it as fast as you possibly can, because that will determine a lot of things for you. So, for example, my MVP in this instance was kind of a skeleton of the app, where like you click the thing and it does what you think it's supposed to do. So now once I have that, I can go to people and be like, look at this. This is what it actually does, right? So within my first month of working on it, I could get to people and be like, look, this is what it does. Like, are you interested? You like it? What do you not like about it? Right? And then they give me feedback that allows me to make decisions about whether or not this is going to be successful or not. Right? It allows me to pivot in the right direction based on the feedback I get from users. Because what would have happened if I decided to stick to my perfectionist mindset is I would have been like, I would have polished the app. It would have been perfect. And then I would have gone to a user and be like, hey, look, this is my app. This is what it does. And they would have been like, wow, that's pretty and useless to me because I'm not your target customer. Like it does all these things. I don't need it to do all of that. I just wanted to tell me this thing, right? So without an MVP, you don't have something you can present to people because what you need to understand as an entrepreneur as well is that the people that you speak to that say, I'm going to pay for this thing that you're telling me about are different to the people that will pay for the thing once you have the product. Right? Like there's all these people that are saying, I will support you. Like this is a brilliant business idea. And then when you finally open your store and you're selling your hat with a helicopter thing on top and you're selling it to people like, yeah, you guys said you like, here it is. Like it's 50 rand. They're like, 50 rand. I mean, it's nice, but I'm not spending 50 rands on that. Like, what am I going to do with that? You know what I mean? So a minimal viable product allows you to start giving it to people and be like, yo, look, this is the product. This is what it looks like. Here it is. And is this something you'd pay for? Like, yeah. Like, oh, why don't you pay for it? And then people will tell you the truth. They'll be like, yeah, but like, if the helicopter is a little silly, remove that, and then maybe I'll buy it for 50 rand. Then you're like, oh, okay, cool. You remove that. And then you go again, you'll be like, okay, here it is. Like, is there something you pay for? And then you get the feedback. All right. And also, the other nice thing about the MVP is that it tells you about the cost. Right. You will learn about how much it takes or costs to make this thing. So, like, for example, with my app, before I started, I was tabula rasa, right? Like a blank slate. I didn't know. Like, how much is it going to be for hosting? Like, do I need to worry about the storage of the data? What about the security? Do I have to pay for the Google API? Do I have to, like, all of these things? And in my mind, it seems like it's going to cost a lot of money or it seems very cheap. But an MVP allows me to be like, okay, here's what it actually cost for me to get this product to this point, right? This is the cost of it. And this allows me to price it as well, right? So let's say, again, you're selling sneakers. If you know how much it cost you to get those sneakers, right? To make the sneaker, you can say it cost me 49 rands to make the sneaker. So I can sell it at a 25 rand markup. So 75 rands. So now I'm selling the sneaker at 75 rands, right? But that's because you understand how much it cost you to make the sneaker. But if you draw the sneaker and then you're like, I want to sell this sneaker for 50 rands. I want to sell this sneaker for my people for 50 rands because it's really going to help them out, right? And then you go to people like, could you buy this sneaker for 50 rands? Like, yes, let's buy the sneaker for 50 rands. And then you go to the person who's going to make the sneaker, be like, okay, look, I need all of these sneakers. Can you just make them for me for like 25 rands? They're like, minimum I can do to make this product of yours a viable thing, it's going to be like 51 rands. I can't make it for any cheaper than that. So now you have a sneaker that's going to cost you 51 rands to make, and you're selling it for 50 rands. And that's the problem, right? Like, if you don't have an MVP, you don't understand what it costs in order for you to make the product. And once you make the product, you need to also understand how you're going to market it and who are your customers and whether or not these people are actually willing to spend actual money for your product. All right, so that's just one of the things I've learned as well. And then what I've done, I do have just a little, this is the website. I don't know how well you guys can see it on your side. But yeah, so this is the website for the app. And one of the things that I've also learned about this is that you are not, and I've heard this before, I can't remember from where, but what the person said is, you, no matter how much you think you are over marketing yourself or you're overselling yourself or you're putting yourself everywhere or whatever, you have not done enough. Because it takes about it takes a user it takes a user about 3 times. They need to see your advertisement at least 3 times before they do something about it. Right? So that means they need to see your marketing at least 3 times before they do something about it. And I know, like, usually people are like, oh no, man, like I sent this to the group already, or I say this to this person already, or like I've been like posting this ad for the past certain amount of times. Where it's like, well, you need to understand, like a user needs to see it at least 3 times before they decide to before they even decide to click it. Not even buy, but before they decide to click on the advertisement, they need to see it 3 times. Right? And you doing this, you posting it 2 times, and you're like, now people are tired of seeing my ad. So let me do another thing. So now they see a different thing. Now they're like, okay, like I think maybe I've seen this somewhere. It doesn't really help you. All right. So when it comes to your marketing, you need to be as aggressive as possible. You need to be as aggressive as possible, just to make sure that when you do get it, when you do start getting people to come in, you're getting the maximum amount of people that you can possibly get at that point in time, right? And that's roughly just about it, to be honest. My main struggles, I think I've covered my main struggles. And then my main takeaways that I might suggest to someone who wants to start an app, who wants to vibe code and do it, get a therapist, because AI is very good. It can get your product out there. And that's kind of like the main base of what I've used to get to this point, and allowed me to spend like the least amount of money I could possibly spend in order to get an app out there. It looks like a miracle, to be honest. Um, but simultaneously, I've spent, I don't think it's even like a overestimation, hundreds of hours at this point, right? On the marketing, on arguing with ChatGPT, with arguing with Claude, with arguing with Gemini. Like, I've had damn near fist fights with Gemini because it decided to change something that I didn't ask it to change, because it thought it was improving something for me, and it broke everything. Right? And like that's just one of the things you kind of learn along the way. It's kind of like AI is very useful, but you can't just jump into it without understanding like what prompts and stuff it needs in order for it to execute your job, right? You also need to understand the security of it, because when I first started this app and I posted it on GitHub, one of my friends who does software engineering, Reggie, shout out to Reggie, by the way, he looked at it and you're like, bro, you have your API keys out on a public platform where if somebody knows what they're doing, they can like hack your shit easy. And I was like, damn, and I didn't even think about it up until that point. You know what I mean? So like you need to cut now I'm very cautious about it. But at that point in time, if I had continued, I don't know how long it would have taken for me to realize that I have a vulnerability. And maybe at that point I would have had 20 users, and then now somebody has access to all the details. And like that would have been chai. Like there's nothing I can do about that. So yeah, do your due diligence, do your research, but then also don't worry too much about perfection. Get your MVP out as soon as possible, and then make your decisions from that point onwards, whether you fail or succeed or whatever the case might be. But don't fall for the trap of being a perfectionist. I want this perfect product out, and then you wait until that point, and then at that point you realize you don't have anyone who even cares about the product. So yeah, that's generally just about it. Any questions?
So for me, it is not really like a question, but it's one of those things where you spoke about like using AI, you know. Um, Funny enough, right? My nephew is like busy, Wayne. He's
Yeah.
busy doing his own thing as well. He's always doing something, trying to sell something, trying to start something. So now he's also doing this TikTok thing where he posts this, he posts business related content where maybe he goes to different businesses around Cape Town just to speak like maybe give shine to them. Just like maybe you go to a car dealership, you speak about that. Okay, cool. You want cars. If he maybe goes to a washing machine place, whatever. So like basically, sorry, like I don't know why I'm just rambling. So what I'm trying to say is that this comment, right, where he was basically talking about making selling websites, right, to customers and stuff, and this person said, um, I can't wait. I don't know what did he say? He said it's he. I'm sure he's gonna be depressed when he finds out what AI can do. Right? For me, I was like, I don't get it because
Oh,
AI can make websites, right?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, AI doesn't make websites on its own. You see, because you need to be able to tell AI what do you want and how to to do it. Because I can easily take a picture like maybe a KFC website, just take the screenshot and then I just put it on like on any AI. Then AI will just create a website that it thinks that's like that's the website that I want. He doesn't know that okay, cool, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for certain things. So my thing is like, yo, if you wanna build a website, AI is there to help you in terms of like, how to do it and whatever on the programming side. But not AI doesn't know how to list like to add certain things,
Yeah.
and those type of things. So it's just like it's one of those things where it's just like even if AI can build websites, it doesn't mean that don't build a website.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the interesting thing about that is I've seen this meme going around where it says, when my friend tells me he built a website and then I have a look at it. And then, you see, here's the interesting thing because only people who work on websites are going to be able to understand this.
Yeah.
And are going to see the problem immediately. But says my friend introduces his website to me. And the first thing I notice is that he says, like, he created a website and he can't wait for users to go on the website. And then the URL is localhost. It's HTTPS dash dash the two thingies, the colon, localhost forward slash and then whatever 5133 5123 whatever, right? And like if you tell that to a normal person, it means nothing, right? They don't see where the problem is with that. But for a person who works on websites, they can be like, oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Like that website is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's just you, bro. It's just it's just you're not like. I think that's the thing, right? Because like people do not understand, like, because now you have to go into okay, you created a website. First of all, is it an HTML? Is it just an HTML page? Because now you're gonna click all those things. None of them are gonna do anything, right? Like now you're clicking on that, it doesn't do anything. So now you do. Let's say you do get it to users, it doesn't do anything. But now also getting it to users is one of, I'm not gonna say it's the most difficult part, but is one that requires more insight and research than just AI. Because AI can suggest a local host for you or the best hosting service or whatever the case might be. But now you have to understand, okay, wait, what is a hosting service? And then you have to look into that. And then once people start doing that, they realize that the thing that they didn't want to do, they're doing it. It's like, oh, I don't want to pay this guy to do this thing. I can do it myself now. And then they're busy doing it. They're like, how much did you say it was again for someone to do this for me? Because you have to look at local hosting. Like, who are you going to host it with? Oh, wait, there's a domain name. Where am I going to get the domain name from? Where's the cheapest place to get it? Where can I get the c.co.za? Because you can't just get that anyway. You can't get it on HostGator because that's an international. Okay, cool. So now and then now you go into the whole list. Like, okay, wait, but like security. Okay, but what if I want to receive a form from some? Like it's multi-layered, and obviously AI is working towards getting to a point where it can do all of that for you. But what I'm going to say is it's not that simple. Like nothing is as simple as that, right? And I think also for us people in this space as well, we are in this bubble where we think we're in a bubble, right? We're thinking, oh, like everybody's making, like everybody can make a website, everybody's using AI to do this. It's not even 10% of the population, bro. It's not even 5% of the world's population that are doing these things. You know what I mean? So like still that means like 95% of the world still doesn't know how to do this thing and how to prompt engineering and how to like get a hosting service and how to get a domain and how to push to GitHub and how to pull from a repository. What is it? You know what I mean? Still, but like we feel like everybody we bump into is doing this thing because we in that space. So yeah, man, I think it's still worth it. It's still worth it. Like,
Wait, do I know? Okay, so can I just ask one more question? In the future, right, I would like to sell products, in terms of like digital products, physical products, in terms of like merchandise and everything like that. In terms of like, with your knowledge and you're building a website, app and stuff, what would you recommend for me to like teach myself, or how do I like start up? Because when you start up something, usually you're all over the place. You're learning a lot of stuff that you don't need, that you find out in the future that, okay, it wasn't necessary for me to actually spend time on that, but the main focus is this and this and this. So my question is like, yo, if I want to start an app website, like what do I need to focus on first? And yeah.
I think that's due diligence mostly. Because if you want to start working on a like, let's say you want to work on the website, e-commerce website, right? And you want to sell products, and you want to build that whole infrastructure yourself. I think it's really understanding what it is that you're trying to achieve. Because I think I'd say work backwards, right? Like work on the MVP, right? Like how quickly can you get to a minimum viable product? So how quickly can you get to a workable website? You can make it perfect later. Like just that now, make it perfect later. How quickly can you get to that point, and then get it to people's hands, or like make satisfy the desire that you have for this product that you wanna push or whatever, right? So one of the couple things you can do is work backwards. It's like start at the end, be like, I want to sell a product on my store. All right. So okay, cool. What who do I want that to go to? Do I want it to just stick to like, oh, South Africans? Do I want it to go international? And then you can decide, okay, no, I think I just want to sell locally. Okay, cool. So you write that down. You say, okay, I want to sell a product. I want to sell it locally. So you note that down. And then now you move backwards. It's like, okay, cool. I want to sell it locally. It's like, okay, what do I want the website to look like? Like, do I want it to look more like Superbalist? Do I want it to look more like Take a Lot? Like, how do I want it to look? Once you understand that, you're like, okay, cool. I want it to look like this thing. And then you work backwards. And then you say, okay, so I want to make a website. I want it to look like this. How do I want my users to pay? Like, do I want them to pay with a card? Is it cash on delivery? How do I do that? And the nice thing about this is because you're working backwards, you can now say like, oh, wait, so I want my users to pay with a card. And then simultaneously, I'm only focused in South Africa, not international. That means I don't have to worry too much about Stripe. South Africans don't really use Stripe like that. You know what I mean? So now you don't have to worry about that payment gateway, because you are going to have to get to a point where you're receiving those payments, and like it can be a rabbit hole you go into, but you only end up in that rabbit hole because you don't know the constraints. So work backwards, set your constraints, and then once you get back to where you are at the moment, then you just work on the research. Just spend like a little bit of time on each section. Say like, okay, I want to make an e-commerce website. What are the best e-commerce websites you know? What are they doing well? What are they not doing well? Okay, cool. And then understand the past infrastructure as well, right? Because I think what people make a mistake of doing now is there's AI. So it's like, oh, I'm just like, what new stuff can I do in order to get my website here, and here, right? But the problem with that is once you do that, you are failing to understand that those things are based on something, right? There's the iceberg theory, right? Where you're seeing the tip of the iceberg, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is what I need to do, and then you look under the water, and it's like it's 6 feet deep or something. So what I would say is understand past infrastructure because it helps you, right? Because past infrastructure entails what the new technology is built on top of, right? So the same thing with the index, HTML files and all those kind of things, where it's like, okay, I want to go to AI. Hi AI, build a website for me. It's going to build the thing for you, right? If you understand PaaS infrastructure, you already know that it built this thing for me, but I need to get it on a website. Like I need to get it, I need to get hosting for it. I need to get a domain for it, right? Okay, cool. So like, how do I do that? Now you can do research on that, right? Because you understand PaaS infrastructure. You don't just think, oh, AI, how do I do this thing? Okay, cool. AI, how do I do that as well? Like AI, how do I do this? Because now what also happens is you don't understand your business. You don't understand your website. If something on your website breaks and you have 100,000 customers waiting for you, you're in trouble because you can fix it. You go into Gemini and you're like, hi Gemini, my payment gateway is not working. How can I fix this? You know what Gemini is going to do? It's going to close your whole app. It's going to destroy everything. Trying to solve this problem, it's going to come back to you and be like, hi NK, we'll fix the problem. Your payment gateway is not working. You're like, oh, thank you so much. You go on your website, it's down. Now you're worse. Like now you don't know if the payment gateway has been fixed, but now you know your website isn't even working anymore. And now you've lost all your customers. You know what I mean? And like the time it takes for you to fix the problem is a lot longer. And that's a problem I'm facing at the moment as well, right? It's like I don't have the software engineering knowledge, right? And I've made it this far because like I've just been a bit tech savvy and I've been Googling things, whatever. But there's a limitation. There's a certain point, like, and my priority right now, I'm trying to get a developer as soon as possible. I'm trying to get someone in the industry to have a look at my app as soon as possible. Because I don't know, like if certain things break on my app now, it's gonna take me a week maybe to fix it. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna take a lot of work. And it could have just been a syntax issue where I just needed to add a bracket. And I'm running around in circles with AI. I'm like, hey, look, AI, please, man. Like this thing is not working. And then AI breaks another thing because it just understand the PaaS infrastructure. If you don't understand it, like me, as soon as you possibly can, work towards it. Right? So you want to get your website. What are the minimal things you need to get in order to have your website up? Right? You need a domain name. You need hosting. Okay, cool. What are the best places where I can get these things? You know, what can I outsource to AI, and what should I keep to myself and do? Right? You might want to do your copy texting yourself, or you, I don't know. It depends on what you're selling. But don't rely too much on AI. But also don't take too long to start, because ideas start and can die in your head as well. Because you're thinking, oh, I need to pay my gateway. Oh, I need to pay fast. Oh, I need to argue with Paystack. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. And then you don't start. Because it's like the burden of starting, the barrier to entry is too high. So lower the barrier of entry to yourself as well. Right? Because you can do the website now. You can just, like, just do the, like, what does it look like? You know? And then that helps you up, like, it motivates you as well because you can see your product now. It's like, oh, okay. Like, kind of looks good. Like, yeah. Good, good, good.
We might have already answered it in a way, but I think it's a two-part thing. For the one, which is like some people, they have like, let's say a bunch of ideas, like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, and that type of thing. And some people have like a lack of ideas or like nothing at all. Like for you, how do you think like what zoned down to you, like this is the problem I want to fix. I want to see this through the struggles, through the everything, and see what comes out of it and everything like that. Like how did you zone down on this particular business idea for yourself?
So I think, I mean, I've watched so much content on business, on entrepreneurship and stuff. But I think one of my main takeaways from all those things that I've watched is kind of like MVP, right? Like so we have a lot of ideas, right? And the problem with ideas is it's a double-edged sword, right? Like it's like ideas have endless potential, but because they have endless potential, we interact with them like it's a honeymoon phase. You know what I mean? So the temptation can be at times. So let me just start. So first thing, how do I zone down onto just one thing? It's I try and understand how long it's going to take me to get my MVP. So my minimum viable object, what do you call this? Minimum viable product. It's okay. How long is it going to take for me to get something I can get to someone who is my target customer and ask them, is this something you're interested in buying for this amount of money? Right? So like that's one thing. Like I have a whole bunch of ideas that I want to do, and they're all there. And I say, okay, this is gonna take me 3 months to get the MVP. This is gonna take me a week. This is gonna take me 2 weeks. It's like let me focus on this thing, right? So that's one of my criteria. It's like how quickly can I get the MVP out? So that's one, and then two, it's kind of like are they all equal in footing, right? Because how well do I understand the different markets, right? Like, so maybe I want to sell sneakers, and I want to do the finance tracking app, and I want to do a business where I do websites for people, right? How well do I understand all three of these? Sneakers, I don't really understand it at all, to be honest. Like, I have no clue. So I'm just gonna put that on pause for now. Start this way. I'm just gonna put that on pause for now, right? And then now I have selling websites to people, and then doing the app, right? So now it's like, okay, how well do I understand these two? Like I understand doing websites very well. Like I'm very good at that. Like I can trust myself in that, right? And the sales of it, I kind of have a rough idea of how I'm gonna do the sales for it. Okay, cool. I understand that one. And the other one is making a finance tracking app. So okay, cool. How well do I understand that? It's like, well, I understand the UI user experience design. I understand like what it requires to make a good product, but I don't really understand the software and stuff very well, right? So now I'm gonna deduct points from it. Let's say mentally, I'm like, now I'm skeptical about this one, all right? And I'm like, okay, cool, the website. Maybe I should focus on this thing. And now I have to go deeper, right? Go to the next layer, and I'm like, okay, more than just understanding these markets, how first of all, how much am I going to enjoy it? That's one. And then two, how many customers do I see? How many users do I see actually using this thing, right? And then I have to like, okay, do the quick math in my head and be like,